Now that you've gone through the introduction of cover letters, I'm sure you would be excited to make one now. But before making the cover letter, let us know what are some of the most common mistakes that everyone makes so that you could make your own cover letter error free. The first mistake that is done by most of the students is that having an unprofessional email ID. Yes, it starts with something as basic as an email ID. In true sense of the word, your email ID is the first ever thing about you that an employer sees. You might check how does a new email appears in your inbox when it comes from heartbreakkid@yahoo.com or rockingcool@gmail.com. It looks rubbish, right? In a professional setup, such email IDs create a very poor impression. Always use a professional email ID when applying for an internship. Using first name dot last name or any variation of it is a good idea. The next mistake that students usually make is an unappealing subject line of the email. You might wonder why subject line is so important in an email. The reason is it is used to filter out irrelevant messages. Your employer won't read your email if the subject line does not catch his attention. Often students use hi or resume or application for internship, which does not stand out among hundreds of similar email an employer may receive in a day. Worse, few students leave the subject line blank or it contains spelling mistakes or SMS language, which shows your lack of sincerity in applying. So, how could you write your subject line in a manner that a reader would be excited to open and read your email? Having a keyword such as the name of your institute or an educational stream or a key skill in the subject line should work. The next most common mistake that students make is spelling mistakes, grammatical errors, and using SMS language. If your email contains SMS language, you have effectively killed your chances then and there. Students often tend to write everything in uppercase or everything in lowercase. Not following proper capitalization creates a poor impression. Spelling mistakes are easy to fix. Always run a spell check before sending an email. Most email composers have an inbuilt spell checker. Grammatical errors depend on how good your command over English language is. It is always a good idea to get your cover letter reviewed by a peer or a professor whose knowledge of English can be trusted. You may also use Grammarly plugin to correct your texts. The next most common mistake would be leaving the email blank or using too generic or short scripts. It looks like a copy paste job. Yes, it is common for students to send an email with just a resume as attachment with no content in the email, not even a courtesy to say hi or give a small intro about themselves. How does one expect an employer to pay any attention to such emails? If not blank, students write a very short or a generic email, which again does not work. Remember, you are looking for an internship and it is your responsibility to make an effort to write a relevant and descriptive email. Do not shy away from that. Also, some students copy and paste the mail from internet. These emails are so easy to spot and hence so easy to discard. Don't forget, if you can Google, then even your employer can Google them. Another very common mistake is improper greeting or signature. Always start a cover letter with proper greeting like Dear Sir, Dear Madam. At the end of the email, put your complete signature, including your full name, your current academic status, your phone number. To see an example, take a closer look at the image on the right. The last very common mistake that you might end up doing is you have uploaded your cover letter as attachment instead of writing it as an email. Unless specifically asked for, always write the cover letter in the email. The whole point of the cover letter is to get the reader to open another attachment, that is your resume. Keeping the cover letter itself as an attachment would defeat its purpose altogether. So these were the very common mistakes that are made by students while writing and sending the cover letters along with the resume. I'm sure now you won't make these mistakes and have a very great cover letter in your hand.